What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Capping at the Bay. I'm your host, Eric Cooley. With me, as always, Mr. Patrick Grigsby, and we still got Mr. Ryan Whittle, Mr. Jay Branch here. And guys, week 3 is a history. Week 4 is a mystery. Not necessarily for typical Denver Broncos and Sean Payton. Dolphins defeated Broncos 70-20. I think they said 72 points is the most points scored in an NFL game. They came very close to doing that, but Mike McDaniel decided to take a knee. I've definitely wanted that record to be broken, but I want to turn it over to Pat first. Pat, does this tell us how good the Dolphins are or how bad the Broncos are?
I think it. I think you really got to look hard at the Broncos, right? People have got their butt whooped before in the NFL. Everybody's, had 40 burger put up on them, but not 72, right? Like that's or 70. That's literally unprecedented. That is the biggest butt whooping we have all seen in our lifetimes in the NFL, without a doubt. And especially where a lot of this come from, like Sean Payton is quoted calling out, Hackett last year for the worst coaching job I've ever seen. Well, hey, bro, he never gave up 70 points and he had a top 10 defense last year. So I think he did. I think he has semi-fixed Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's playing better. I'm not gonna say he's like the Russell Wilson of the Seahawks, but he's like he forgot that he's got to coach, do something with the defense. So I think it says more about him. We'll see how, I think Miami's clicking. Tua has the fastest release time and also the longest yards or yards per attempt, which is those two things don't usually correlate. So we'll see. They play Buffalo this week. I think we'll get a really good read on how good that offense really is this week. But I think this loss says more about, the disarray of the Broncos.
All right. Whittle, what do you think?
Yeah, I think them Broncos is trash. I think they is trash. But I will say Sean Payton is obviously doing something right, or at least something different with Wilson, where he's doing obviously better. I just pulled up the stats just now. I didn't realize how good a game Russell Wilson actually played. Like, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't really add up.
All right.
Russell Wilson threw 306 yards and Tua threw 309 yards. Like, that's wild. So it makes you think okay, Broncos definitely trash. No getting around it. They had people who helped Wilson make big plays. It's Wilson. It was Wilson versus the Dolphins, and obviously a quarterback can't do it all on his own, and it's hard to say all on his own when he still threw 309 yards. Obviously those 309 yards came from somewhere, but Tua threw 4 touchdowns when Russell Wilson only threw 1. So there's a lot more variety, a lot more weapons on the Dolphins team that were not available to Wilson to have similar success. Dude, McDaniel is way better than I ever would have been. To be able to he literally did the Broncos a literal favor. Because I would have not taken a knee for damn sure. I would have not kicked a field goal. I'm throwing that thing up in the air. I'm scoring another touchdown, y'all. What are we talking? You have the opportunity. 1, you obviously know you can do it. All right. And 2, you have an opportunity to make history within the NFL. Not his franchise history within the entire NFL, in the history of the NFL. That's wild. And McDaniel basically was like, I know I can, but I ain't. And it makes you think, maybe, I don't know if you guys saw this, but McDaniel used to be the ball boy. Dude, what a come up. And he at one point applied for a coaching position for the Broncos, and they turned him down.
The head coaching job. They didn't even interview him.
Wild. So shout out to McDaniel. He's a better dude than I was. If I was Sean Payton, I definitely would have stabbed McDaniel in the parking lot for sure.
He's getting a knife somewhere.
Yeah, so I'd be curious to see how the Broncos come back next week and they play the Bears, right? Who also got smacked up. That game is either going to be really good or really bad, which in turn will probably be good.
Absolutely. Jay, what do you think?
Man, I hate to join y'all in on this. I hate to be 3-for-3 on this. I'd like to hear from you, Cooley, afterwards, but I gotta say, that's gotta be on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, when you got Mike White in there and he's in there for when he's in there 2 for 2 with 67 yards and a touchdown, like, how much defense are you playing? And I think it's just crazy how last year Broncos' problem was their defense was good and they couldn't score points for nothing. Like, it was crazy. And like watching those games, you feel bad for the defense. And then I know Denver only scored 20, but still to give up 70. Oh my gosh. Like, what has gone wrong with the Broncos? They have guys. Like, what has gone wrong with the Broncos for them to go from top 10? You think they can be better with Sean Payton. Their offense should be better. All right. It should be a better team. And to have that happen to them, it's ridiculous. You have a 200-yard rusher. Tyreek went for 157. Like, they were doing what they wanted to. It literally was like peewee football, like high school football. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I gotta say, like, with the Dolphins, yeah, it was super impressive putting up 70. But I just think it's just utter disappointment from that defense. It's kind of sad. But that's all I got on that. That was terrible.
Hey, I don't want to hear any Mike White slander ever again. All right, that's a Hall of Fame quarterback right there.
That's Mike White, bro.
His jersey is in Canton, Ohio. All right.
I want to let you guys in on this. If you guys are familiar with Caesar Sportsbook, they had Broncos projected 2-1 after week 3. It was -3 for them against the Raiders, -4 against the Commanders, and they were only at a +6 against Miami last week.
Yeah.
So they were projected 2-1 right now. They are now 0-3 going against 0-3 Chicago Bears. Whitt, who do you see winning that game though?
That's the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bears win. Like, it's good. I think the Bears win just strictly because these dudes are still licking their wounds. There's obviously things that they have to fundamentally figure out within their offense. Yeah, the Bears, but the Bears, man, the Bears didn't do so hot. Have not been doing so hot either. Like I said, it's gonna be it's gonna be black and white. The game is either gonna be good or really bad. And the only reason that it would be good is because you have two equally garbage teams going up against each other, making it competitive. It's kind of wild, like, not to deviate, but it's kind of wild because the team that everyone was like bashing in the offseason, or the teams, at least I was bashing them, was the Colts and Arizona. And instead, we're talking about the Broncos and the Bears. So let's see what
both are supposed to take that step this year. Yeah.
Say that again.
I expected both. I expected both to take a big step this year, but it's not looking good for either.
Yeah, I mean, you pick up someone like Sean Payton, and you think like, oh, like, you know, something significant is going to come, and it doesn't seem that way. The difference is, although I am like, in a half joking way calling the Bears trash, they played the Chiefs, and like that's a legitimate contender and have been for the past several years, where the Dolphins have been more so on the rise the past 2 years maybe. But yeah, I mean, I see the game going in favor of the Bears. I think putting up 10 points against the Chiefs is more impressive than putting up 20 points versus a team that was comfortable throwing in their backup quarterback and him throwing for 100%.
Broncos are -3.5 for this game, even though it's in Chicago. I'm sure Pat can even give you the stats on how much money equipment was stolen in Chicago.
Yo, I saw it. That's wild.
Yeah, there's some wild stuff going on there, dude. Like what? So they got raided by the FBI, or the building got raided by the FBI on like Tuesday, and then the defensive coordinator resigned on Wednesday, and then on Friday, this facility got broken into and $100,000 worth of equipment got stolen. So that sounds pretty shady. And it's like just from the Bears, like I know they're going through a lot right now. I expected them to be better than they are right now, but like I figured they were like another year away. I figured they like need another year drafts, maybe get another defensive free agent. I figured they'd be like, that fringe playoff. Like we're a lot better now. We're not, but they're at the very bottom of the barrel still. So I actually do have Broncos winning this one. I think Russ is going to get his first win here.
Jay, I want to turn it over to you for our next topic. On the other side, you had the Miami Dolphins to completely obliterate the Denver Broncos, but the 49ers and the Eagles are the last remaining undefeated teams. Who do you see being the last team standing on this list?
Are we talking last team to remain undefeated or like last team to go like best chance of
last remaining?
Yeah, last remaining undefeated.
All right, so I don't see the Eagles losing the next 2 weeks to Washington or the Rams. Rams are you never know. Rams, I feel like they're tough go every week. I just don't see it. Never know, especially after this crazy weekend. Look out for the 49ers and Cowboys in 2 weeks. And dang, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is tough because in Miami has Buffalo this weekend, but I picked Miami, but have probably the best chance. So really, sadly, I'm gonna have to say probably the Eagles. I'm gonna say probably the Eagles are the last ones because in week 6 they finally get week 6. Eagles will have the Jets. Wow, yeah, I don't see them losing. They could. It's very realistic. With my luck being a Cowboys fan, me hoping for them to lose, they're probably gonna win the next 4, 5, 6 easily. Could be wrong. Hope I am. But I think the Eagles will be the last remaining team, even though I cannot stand them. And it really makes me tear up to say that. But I think the Eagles will probably be the last one. But I do see them eating some L's near the end of the year and middle of the season. But I don't like the next few weeks, I feel like they have the easiest road.
Grigsby, what do you think?
Oh, this problem will solve itself. They all play each other.
Yep.
Right. So Dolphins Eagles play what 4, 5, 6. Dolphins Eagles play week 7. Right. The Dolphins got to get past the Bills first. I think it's gonna be the 49ers. I think the 49ers are the most complete team. And honestly, and that's why I saw a quote earlier. It's like, the hell's going on with their salary cap, dude? How do they have this many good players?
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous how many good players they really have. Then their quarterbacks making as much as your local doctor. So yeah, so I think it's going to be the 49ers. Dolphins Eagles play week 7. They got to get past the Bills this week, which the Bills are favored by 3? The spread on that. And then the Eagles 49ers play each other like week 12 or 13. So these teams all will play each other. Somebody's got to lose. So there can only be one. I would put my monies on the 49ers. The only the biggest question is Brock Purdy. He's doing what he's needing to do right now in Shanahan's system. Is he really that good? I think he's getting, he's already on the verge of top 15 quarterback. But I mean, everybody discounts him because of the weapons and the system and everything else, right? But he's executing at an elite level, even with just based off what he's asked to do. So yeah, the 49ers are dangerous.
Whitt.
Damn, I really hate to be an echo chamber, but I think that the Eagles will also be the last to keep their 0. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They got Washington. They're going to win. They got LA. LA's a solid team, but they're going to win. Then they got the Jets. Now, listen, I was I was gonna go to this game. All right, and I was less motivated to get my ticket guy on the phone and figure that game out. So I ain't going to that one. But in the same breath, not to like talk about the Jets, but the Jets can look different by then. Like that's
fair.
3 more weeks away. We could have a new quarterback, a new potential veteran quarterback at the helm.
Tomorrow.
So that game could potentially be a difficult one for the Eagles. But for the sake of argument, let's say the Eagles win that game too. Then that's when they like hit their tougher stretch. They play the Dolphins, play Washington again, beat them. Cowboys, good. That'll be rivalry games. Always bring out the best in a team, and the Cowboys are a good team this year. And then the Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, like they're about to hit their stride. And living on the east side of Pennsylvania, I want nothing more than to have the Birds lose every week so that I don't have to hear "Go Birds." Hey, go Birds. All right. I'm tired of it. So unfortunately, until the next 3-5 weeks, the Birds are gonna do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I put the Dolphins on the screen for y'all. I mean, they beat the Broncos terribly, but at the same time, the 49ers, they just I've heard about this numerous times with the Cleveland Browns about on paper, they look good. Okay. Cleveland, they didn't surprise me at all with the on paper, they could win a championship kind of thing. But on paper, 49ers could be the next, Dolphins to being undefeated, go on to the playoffs, win that, and then win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the 49ers can mollywop the Cardinals this week the same way the Dolphins just did the Broncos.
Absolutely.
And then
with it being in San Fran.
And it's in San Francisco also. Like
Yeah.
the 49ers are going to smoke the Cardinals this week. All right. And then the following week, the 49ers play the Cowboys. And like I don't know what the Cowboys probably
that's gonna be a good game.
They'll probably have their center. Did their center play last week?
Our center was out, our left tackle was out, our right guard was out.
So yeah, that makes a difference. So like
all 3 Pro Bowlers.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm assuming that line is going to be back, unless like their hamstring injuries, which will keep you out a little longer.
Yeah.
But like to see the 49ers offense versus the Cowboys defense, that'll be an interesting game to watch. I still think that
I have it on ESPN right now. 49ers are -14 right now with the Cardinals. And then it goes back down in the next 5 games. They're -3 against the Cowboys, -2 against the Browns, -3.5 Vikings, -2.5 Bengals, and -3 against Jags. So they're making it to a point that, they are good on paper, but at the same time, anything could happen.
Yeah.
I don't think their schedule is not nearly as tough as the Eagles. I don't want to say not nearly as tough. It's not as tough as the Eagles, but they're still a dominant team.
If they pull out those 5 wins with it being that close of a spread, they have to win the Super Bowl. Have to. It's Super Bowl or bust, in my opinion. So, hey, and I think it was the Eagles. 1 second, real quick. Yeah, they had, because I think Grigsby even pointed out that they're playing each other. They had the Dolphins and then 49ers. Obviously, they had Cowboys for 2 games. So it's the same thing with the Eagles. Super Bowl or bust, and on paper, they could go back to Super Bowl back to back. So, all right. It is time for top 5. And Grigsby and I pointed this out earlier that, it's the same teams. And it'll keep being the same teams unless somebody pulls off an upset. And surprisingly, I'm very surprised I still have the Cowboys in my top 5. The Cowboys are 5th right now, in my honest opinion. Cardinals are that kind of team that you just don't know about, Josh Dobbs, things like that. But still, Parsons just looked phenomenal. Dak, besides the one pass in the end zone turned into an interception, he was not bad whatsoever. Same with Pollard.
He actually played a good game.
You talking about that interception he threw into triple coverage?
Right before that.
But
that before that, go ahead.
What do you say, man?
I'm
This is
just-
mad serious.
I'm just saying, that's also the time where you have 2 seconds to throw, and that was probably his prime.
Yeah, he had to go.
Yeah. It was there, or it's going to be incomplete, out of bounds kind of thing. So, yeah, it was, bad call on McCarthy and Dak Prescott, but they are still number 5 on my list. 4 would definitely be the Philadelphia Eagles. They completely silenced Tampa, and with me being a former employee for Tampa Bay Bucks, I mean, that place always gets loud. The only time I heard it be silent was them losing to the Cowboys in the playoffs, and 2 days ago, whenever the Eagles beat them. So Eagles are the real deal in the NFC, and so I have them at number 4. Chiefs, you guys are number 3. It would be higher if they played somebody like the Cowboys or somebody even better, but playing somebody like the Bears, you're not going very high up just yet. They're still high up there, but they are not the top dog in the AFC, so I'm just going to have them at 3. 49ers are at 2. I already said it on paper. They look great. Very elite team, and with it being Brock Purdy as the QB, hey, anything can happen, and that's something is going to be Brock Purdy taking them to the Super Bowl. And finally, number 1, you got the Miami Dolphins, which I pointed it out earlier.
Yeah.
You can be up there to win or be undefeated in the Super Bowl whenever you put up 70 points against a professional freaking NFL team. Putting up 70 points against big guys, 300-pound guys that, it's
impressive.
It's ridiculous. It's very ridiculous to do that under Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. So those are my top 5. Do we have any differences?
I have the same 5, but in a different order.
Let's hear it.
Please tell me you have Miami 1 though.
No.
How?
Really?
I wrote out my list once, and then I actually scratched it out. Originally, I had the Dolphins at my number 3 spot, but I've since moved them. But I'll tell you what I got. At number 5, I got the Cowboys. I still think they're a top 5 team.
Yep.
And at number 4, I have the Dolphins. Like at the end of the day, I agree with Cooley in saying, like, if you do numbers like that, you are of Super Bowl quality. And the reality is any top 5 team is of Super Bowl quality. So I'm not like discrediting the Dolphins, but I am saying they did it to the Broncos. They did it to Russell Wilson. Like the
in
Russell
the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
They're getting like they're getting the newly revived Russell Wilson, who is coming off of a garbage season. You realize Russell Wilson's been in the league for like 10 plus years? Like he's up there, right? When did Russell Wilson get drafted?
Ooh.
11, 12?
I was in
Somewhere there?
high school.
13 maybe?
It was 11.
Yeah, I want to say
I was hearing
it's
stuff
11
that,
or 12. It definitely wasn't
before,
13.
That before he went to Denver, he was not a Super Bowl quarterback.
He also had a broken hand or thumb or something that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He came back too early.
All right. Nonetheless, deviating.
2012.
2012.
12. Okay. Yeah, the Dolphins, at the end of the day, the Dolphins did what they did to the Broncos. Okay. So I have them at number 4. Number 3, I have the Chiefs for the same reason Cooley said. I just like they're still a high quality team, but just haven't played haven't played an equal competitor. And then at 2, I have the Birds. All right. Like can't really fight the feeling that they are capable of ending up back in the Super Bowl this year if they continue to play the way they play. The reason why I have the 49ers at 1 and not the Birds is because the 49ers have what was my thought process?
AJ
The 49ers have played. Say again?
It's an AJ Brown.
No, I just think
he said the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey. That's what his name
Yeah,
is.
right.
I think the for lack of better words, I think the strength of the schedule that they've played in these past 3 weeks has been more impressive than the Eagles.
That's fair.
Like they're like pretty even, but the Eagles have played the Patriots and the Bucks and the Vikings. Like the Vikings have Kirk Cousins and Jay Jets. Like you're able to take out if you're able to like put Jay Jets on a block, then who's Kirk Cousins throwing the ball to? That's why the Eagles won. Patriots are trash. All right. This is not a transitive property. The Jets are not trash because the Patriots are trash. The Jets are figuring some stuff out. The Patriots are still trash. Okay. And then the Bucks are like still wiping their tears from losing Rodgers. Like it just is what it is. So I got 49ers, Phils, Chiefs, Dolphins, Cowboys.
All right, Jay.
I do not like the fact that y'all are downplaying that they put up 70 on the
I'm not
Broncos.
downplaying it.
Hold on, let me finish. You are when you're like, it was the Broncos, they're trash. Y'all, they were gonna break the all-time scoring record. That's not like, oh, it's the Broncos. You haven't done it. You haven't done it. You haven't done. None of our teams have done this. All right, none of our teams have done this the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, y'all. They put up 70. What was it the highest score since 1960 something? All the records, I think
66.
Yeah,
It's 1966, and the number one team to do it was 1940, I believe. Was
Yeah.
the all-time record.
So like this is like the new era record. You know what I'm saying?
New era, new. This is bigger than that,
Bro, it is. Like we cannot downplay they put us. Yes, it's the Broncos. Okay, cool. None of us have put us. We haven't seen 70. None of us.
Wait,
have seen
are
70.
you putting Dolphins at 1?
They have to be at 1.
Thank you.
They have to be at 1. Their defense have been solid this year as well. Their defense have been solid this year. They played New England, played them tough. That was away too. They played a tough New England team. That's a rivalry game right there. They looked good in doing it. They showed they could win ugly too. Not every game, bro. They have to be at 1. I feel like they have to be at 1. And we cannot. If I hear one more person say they were facing the Broncos, none of us have seen 70, y'all.
I'm offended though. I said it that it is a professional team.
Exactly. Yo, you're right. You're right.
You sure
I wasn't
do it.
cool. I wasn't saying you did. The only thing I was trying to say was like none of us have seen it. Does that make sense? Cooley's top 5 is on point. It's on point. There's no way. There's no like we cannot downplay that 70 piece.
What is the rest of your list?
Yeah, what's 2 through 5?
2, San Fran. 3, Philly. I'm gonna go 4, Kansas City, and I'm gonna go 5, Dallas.
I was about to say my list would be perfect because I still got Cowboys on the list.
No, I got us 5 still.
So I guess mine's a little just like slightly different. So I actually wrote down some stats for this one too. So 1, I got 49ers. They like if Brock Purdy doesn't tear his the something jaw surgery, let's say he doesn't tear his 49ers would have been the Super Bowl last year, right? Undefeated, Chiefs lost to the Lions, 2 of their 3 best players out, whatever. I'll give the one to the 49ers.
I don't know if they win that game.
Huh?
I don't know if they win that game.
They were doing good until
They
he
were
went down.
hot.
And
They were
hot. They were hot till he went down. So and right now, like they
Brock
have
Purdy burst on the
they have a
scene.
better O-line. I would say like they have the best offensive lineman in football. They have the best running back in football. They have the best linebacker in football. They have one of the best safeties in football. They have like 2 of the top 20 wide receivers in football. Like, I mean, their talent is insane, right? They have the best defensive end in, one of the best defensive ends in football. Top 3 behind y'all two. So they're 1. I got Kansas City at 2. So I give them a little bit, and like obviously, I'm a Chiefs fan, but so they lost to Detroit. They had 2 of their 3 best players on their 53-man roster out and lost by a single point, with the receivers dropping 8 passes. Like all very young receivers too. So like I'm gonna give them a little bit of leeway there. I think they're 2. They have the history that we've started like 4-3, or I think we started 2-4 one year or something like that, and came back and won the Super Bowl. So it takes us a little bit to get going. So the big difference, and also this is why I have them ahead of Miami, right? So yeah, I get it. The offense, they put up 750 yards, they scored 70 points. Like that's great. Like, like they didn't do that against New England. They didn't do that against other teams, right? So they did put, if now they were putting up 35, 40 points a game and then scored 70, that's a different conversation. But right now, Kansas City's defense, this is the best defense in Mahomes' era by far. Yards per game, Kansas City's 6th. Points per game, they're 4th. Rushing yards per game, they're 11th, which they've always had historically very bad rush defense. And then pass yards per game, they're 6th. Miami's defense, yards per game, they're 23rd. Points per game, they're 21st. Rush yards per game, they're 24th.
Wait, are these
per
stats
game, they're 20th. So
these stats come after this past Sunday?
Yeah, this is post Broncos game. So like they have a not even mid-level defense. They're like below average defense, right? And I get when you put up 70, you're going to give up some stuff on defense. I get you're going to give us some yards. People are playing from behind, but like their defense is suspect. When you're playing, this will be the test for Miami. They go in there and they blow up Buffalo. They probably moving up. But so I have 49ers 1, Kansas City 2. I have Miami 3, Philly 4, and then I actually have Buffalo 5. Dallas would be 6. I actually, like, if you're looking at just pure stats, Buffalo's played a weaker schedule, but their stats on defense are electric right now. So
you say your 5 again? I'm sorry.
So I got 49ers 1, Kansas City 2, Miami 3, Philly 4, Buffalo 5.
Buffalo's looking at.
Buffalo sneaky, bro. Their defense is doing excellent this year. They're like 2nd in yards allowed, 1st in points allowed. Like, I mean, they're doing really well. So they're a top tier team. And but Dallas, obviously little recency bias. Like, we'll see what happens with Miami Buffalo this week. Dallas is Buffalo and Dallas are right here, but I think I trust Josh Allen just a little bit more than I trust Dak, is what it came down
to. Miami, by the way.
Right?
Miami is 1st in total yards. This is
they're 1st in everything.
Total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, and points.
Hey, wild stat. Miami had 700 and something yards. They actually have more. They had more yards in one game than 2 franchises have had across 3 games, including the Jets, who were in last.
Sure. What are you doing? What are you doing?
One pointed out. So Miami's offense was 1st in those categories. Buffalo is 2nd in total yards, 3rd in passing yards, and 2nd in points on defense.
They're crushing it, dude. They were sneakily playing good.
Yeah. So let me check real quick. It's over/under 53.5. Who got the over on that?
I took the over.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll get to you because it's time for cap locks, and I went 2 and 3. So unfortunately, everybody on here gets a custom Capping at the Bay jersey. I'm assuming that you guys are wanting your guys' favorite team colors, right?
I know that, right?
So yeah, I'm gonna have to put that in my freaking banking account that I'm getting a Jets colored jersey, a freaking Cowboy colored jersey, and to make things worse, a Chiefs colored jersey. So, but hey, that means more research for me. I had time for it, and I'm actually feeling pretty confident about this week. So if you guys want to go on ESPN and check these matchups, because I feel like these are going to hit. So first one, I have the Lions and Packers division matchup, prime time. Nothing's going to happen. I have under 45 for Lions and Packers. I feel like that's going to hit.
It's at Green Bay, correct?
Yeah,
It is at Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Next one, we've been talking about it, but Miami plus 2.5 is definitely going to hit, because I just don't, for some odd reason, Josh Allen versus his own division, that AFC East, it's not going to happen. I mean, we saw with the New York Jets defense. I think it's going to happen again with Miami's defense. So I have them plus 2.5. Another one, me and Grigsby talked about it earlier. Over 41.5 for the Ravens and Browns. Because for some odd reason,
that's what I said.
Hear me out. Lamar.
trap game.
Yeah, Lamar needs to improve. He didn't have most of his wide receivers, and he's down on his 5th running back of the season. We're only at week 4. So, I mean, he has to improve on offense. And I just don't see anybody stopping Ford, Watson, Amari Cooper, none of them. It's going to be an offensive game. It could probably be over 50 points, in my honest opinion. If I remember correctly, in the last 9 matchups with these two teams, they have hit over 40 points in 7 of them. So I feel pretty confident about that. Next one, Chiefs minus 9.5 going against, unfortunately, Whittle's Jets. It's prime time, Sunday night. That's when Mahomes shines. Unfortunately, because I think I'm going against Mahomes twice in this week in fantasy. So, but that they're going to rock and roll. If Taylor Swift is there at MetLife Stadium, I believe. I mean, they're going to show off. So I have Chiefs minus 9.5. And last but not least, Monday night, Seahawks versus Giants. Giants are not the team we thought. Coach Dable is slowly getting down to that hot seat, even though it's only his 2nd year. So I got Seahawks plus 1. It's a pick 'em for some odd reason. I'm guessing just because it's New York, but Seattle, they're going to win this. Those are my cap locks. Pat, what do you think?
All right, I got a question for y'all. How many points are the Saints going to score against Tampa Bay with Winston at quarterback?
It could be a lot. It could be a little.
You think it's more than 20?
13 points.
I don't
How
know.
many points? How many points is Winston going to score on who? Who did they?
How many points is New Orleans going to score against Tampa Bay?
In Tampa Bay or in New Orleans?
Winston's one of the toughest QBs to judge, because he could honestly put up like 30, but he could also put up like 7.
He'll walk in 30 for 30.
Yeah, he going.
What's he called? Was it Jabu? What's Winston's
like
nickname?
Jabu.
Who's showing up? Is Winston showing up or Jabu?
So the Saints have had 12 straight games of not allowing more than 20 points. So I don't think they're going to score more than 20 against the Bucs. The Bucs defense is still respectable. So I'm taking the under on Tampa Bay, and it is at New Orleans in the Dome. I know the over hits a lot more in the Dome. I'm still taking the under. I think Winston looked a little, like out of place when he came in after Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is going to be out multiple weeks. It says he's week to week right now. They get Kamar back this week or next week?
Kamar's back.
Yeah, Kamar's back. Yeah, they still. I don't think.
I think Kamar's back.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought he had a 4-game suspension. Is it 3 games?
4 games.
Yeah, it's 4 games. Yeah. So, so I'm taking the under at 40.5. So I think the
Marin's back,
Saints.
boys. He's back.
Yeah, I thought so. He made that.
I
made
was
the
about to say, I
little
saw breaking
made the
news.
little post of the dude getting out of prison.
Yeah, he's back.
Right. And then I do have one more, and I went back and forth on this. I got the Denver right now is -3, and I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to smoke. I think they're going to smoke the Bears. I think Russell Wilson's been looking all right. That defense can Chicago is not fast. Like I said, Tua releases the fastest and throws the furthest. Justin Fields ain't doing that, bro. He's on the ball. He's on the ball until it's absolutely last second. Denver's going to bounce back. That defense is all right. I think there's a little disarray going on in the scheme and all that. I think Denver covers.
What is your upset of the week?
Houston.
Oh my God.
So I have I have Houston.
You don't get to talk now.
I have Houston upsetting Pittsburgh at Houston. CJ Stroud's been looking nice. He actually broke the record for the most consecutive completions without an interception. Rookie still has not thrown an interception. And you actually pointed out earlier that he did get a sack, 11 times across 3 games.
Times in 2 games.
Even allowing that amount of pressure, he still has not thrown an interception, and he balled out last week.
Is Kenny Pickett still the 32nd ranked QB?
Huh?
Is Kenny Pickett still ranked 32nd?
No, that's Zach Wilson.
Is it really?
Yeah, Zach Wilson's ranked 32nd.
Let's go over to Jay. What are your locks and what is your upset of the week?
All right. So right now, I'm 2 for 2 on locks and upsets of the week. So let's see if we can go 3 for 3, 6 for 6. You ready? My upset of the week right now at plus 130. Do we want more than that?
I would say that. That's almost a pick 'em.
So what are we talking then?
I'm talking about like a +5, +6 kind of.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I apologize.
He's just asking you to
There's
be.
not many. A lot of these games are close this weekend.
I think there's only 5 or 6 games that are above +3.
Jay, I'm going to help you out and go with the Patriots.
No, you didn't. That's
+6.5. Belichick is going to be at a 500.
Are you talking about to cover or that's your upset?
No, I'm saying that's the upset.
You're picking Patriots to beat us?
You think the Patriots are going to beat the Cowboys?
It's Belichick. Am I wrong?
Hey, Mac Jones ain't Josh Jobs.
He's going to find a way to do a little nut tap on old Micah Parsons once he gets up.
See, Micah
Parsons is going to have to wear a cup.
Everybody's got to wear a cup.
Going to get the old grab and twist.
All right, so
did you see
are plus 120. So most of these games are close, and I really don't see the only option I would have. I don't see the Panthers beating the Vikings. I don't see Commanders beating the Eagles. I don't see the Raiders beating the Chargers. I think the Chargers beat them. I don't know. But honestly, plus 130, just because that's what I got to work with. I'm going Miami Dolphins for underdog. Sorry if that sounds cheap, but I got to. Anytime I feel like, you know what? Yeah, I feel like
that's not cheap. That's a solid play.
Yeah, anytime, like I said, I feel like now they're one of those teams like the Chiefs. If I see them even at decent odds, I'm sprinkling some Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Honestly, anytime the Chiefs under -2, I feel like you got to sprinkle it. But Dolphins plus 130 this weekend away. Give me the Dolphins, my underdog of the week. Now my lock of the week spread is going to be. Let me think twice before I say it out loud, because I ain't no going back. I'm going to go Chargers 5. I'm going the Chargers with the over. I'm going another tough one.
All right.
I I really want to bet on the. I'm definitely gonna do a parlay with them. I really wanted to say the Packers. I really wanted to say the Packers. You know what?
Screw it.
That's a close game too.
Yeah, it is. But this is my lock. This is like, boom. This has got to happen, or Jay's gone. And I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. I apologize. We're sticking with the Chargers.
Chargers
I don't
minus
believe in the
5
Raiders.
against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they playing like Brian Hoyer starting, or whoever the hell their backup is.
5 points. So I'm taking this. I spread too. Though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a tough call. Brandon Staley coaching.
Jimmy looked awful.
Yeah, well, he's leading
He sure
he's leading
did.
the league, and Jimmy G is leading the league in interceptions right now at 6.
I don't feel as comfortable with my locks this week, like my picks this week, as I did the last 2 weeks.
Ugly.
But
Yeah,
hey,
Brian Hoyer is back up. All right, Whit, who do you think?
All right, this really isn't my thing. I don't really be gambling like that, so I don't really pay attention to this spread type stuff. But and I talked about this before we started recording, but for my upset of the week, and I hate, like I said this before we recorded, I have the Dolphins over the Bills. I think it's crazy that the Bills are the favorite after the Dolphins just scored 70 points last week.
Yep.
You don't think they're gonna ride that high into the sunset? Like they're still coming hot off of an incredible performance. Now the Bills are a good team, and playing in Buffalo, I'm sure is gonna be a more competitive atmosphere, but
yeah,
still, there's something to be said about the poise that McDaniel brings with the Dolphins, and like I hate the Dolphins so much. I hate them. But I got the Dolphins over the Bills for my upset. And then I got two money line bets. All right. I got the Bears over Denver. All right. I got the Bears.
Hey, what's that? What's the line at?
Bears are underdogs. I know that.
Plus 3.5. So
Yeah,
plus
plus-
145.
Plus 3.5 for the Bears. The money line is plus 142 to minus 170. So that's honestly that should be my upset of the week. But
hey, let's go with it.
I had
I'm rooting for
already
you,
said-
man. I want the Bears to win it though.
I'm a Chiefs fan, bro. I want the Bears to win. I just don't think they are.
I think that if there's any game I'm gonna watch this week, it's definitely that one.
Are you
Unless
serious?
it's too trash.
It's gonna be the lowest viewing game in the season.
I'm gonna commit myself to the first half.
Hey, is it at noon?
5.
It's a noon game, yeah.
No, noon for who? I got 5 p.m. on my screen.
Broncos Bears.
When's the game at 5 p.m.?
5 p.m.
Yeah,
It'd
be like 4:25 for you.
It's probably because I'm looking at I'm not logged in here, so it's probably just giving me a
because
different
we got
time
the
zone.
Patriots Cowboys, America's game of the week.
America's
That's at
game of the week,
3:25.
baby.
Yeah,
Hey, but I do know I got the Packers on Thursday though. I do got the Packers on Thursday.
I got the Lions.
I got the Lions.
and then
Don't doubt
and
J
then I
Love.
got
He's trying to boost that Jordan Love trade value over there.
Bro, he's
So,
in one league. I'm trying to trade up with Lamar for some value, and I'm about to rock with Jordan Love.
Hey, we do need to do a fantasy episode.
Hey, hold on. Before
go
you
ahead,
guys talk
Wait,
about
my
your
bad.
week
Hey,
teams.
let Whit gamble, all right?
All right. I got Bears over Denver. All right. But we were saying this before recording happened. Some whispers in the air of Fields finding his way to the Jets. So I wouldn't mind if Fields,
That would be solid.
didn't look so hot this week, and the Bears were more willing to trade for him. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, Bengals got an ugly win last week, and I think they get a more legitimate win over the Titans this week.
I like that, Whit.
So that's what I got. So my Upset. My official upset is Dolphins over Bills, but my caps locks is also an upset with the Bears over Denver, and then Bengals over Titans.
I like it. I like it. Well, that checks out for me. One thing's for sure. Hey, what was it? Steelers are first in the AFC North. Chiefs are first in the AFC West. You guys got some catching up to do.
One game. Leave us alone. This dude. Hey, cool.
That
I
was-
got a question now.
This guy.
We gotta
Hey,
figure
you
some
better enjoy that as much as you can.
Wait,
right
Jay,
now,
what's your
brother.
question?
I got
What's
a
your
question for all
Jay?
y'all though. What happens to Sean Payton if he loses this weekend? He's not gonna get fired.
He's
But
going
he's
back.
gonna be
He's
a-
going back to the
He's
booth.
gonna resign.
He like he's gonna get some heat though.
Yeah, he's going back to the booth.
I feel like he has a lot to lose this weekend.
He's gonna resign. For
Do
sure.
people care? Like, I feel like people put too much stock in coaching as far as like the general public. Like, we talk about coaches, but like, what does it really mean? Like, fans
Coaching's
Fans-
a lot in football.
what fans want to talk about is players. Like, if let's just say Sean Payton loses this game. Let's say he does resign, which I think is wildly unlikely in the middle of the season. That would put
He went
such
to
a
mid-season.
I
Urban
think
Meyer. It's an
you
Urban
know what I think
Meyer
of when I think of Sean
2.0.
Payton?
Ooh.
When I think of Sean Payton, I think of that headhunting in New Orleans. So like it doesn't matter what Sean Payton's legacy is, that's what I think of him. So if it turns into Sean Payton not figuring out this season, he's gonna turn into that guy who was the headhunting coach and then tried to make a run back at it and couldn't and flopped, and that will be his legacy. So that's what Sean Payton has to lose.
I think.
But how many coaches? Realistically, how many coaches are we actually talking about? Like,
Coaching's a lot in the NFL, man.
I talk about like Rex Ryan. Okay, he was a big coach, like a lot of charisma. Reed is another coach who's like obviously sees a lot of success and he's also in commercials. Tomlinson is a coach that we talk about a lot because he has not even a coach that we talk about a lot, but everyone knows that Tomlinson has never had a losing season.
He's low key top 5
Tomlin is top 5 for sure.
right
I'm
now
saying
as active
I
head
said
coaches.
Tomlinson.
He's
My
top 5.
bad. Mike Tomlin.
I like Mike Tomlin.
We talk about Mike Tomlin, but what do we talk? We say Mike Tomlin's the guy who stands on the sideline and chews gum and looks like a statue and never had a losing record. And what else do we talk about?
Are you?
So
thinking
I would
of
say,
him or Pete Carroll?
like, are you saying that coaching
No,
doesn't play as
Tomlin.
big
What
a
is
role?
Tomlin has no emotion. This guy's a
Are
statue.
you saying? So are you saying coaching doesn't play as big a role as what people think?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, coaches, coach you.
Right.
But I mean, all of us are coaches, right? And
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
we show up to our practices and coach kids, blah blah blah. But ultimately, the kid has to go out and wrestle the match.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson got to go catch that ball. Kirk got to make the passes. It's I just think like I think the general public, I think 9 out of 10 times rather be talking about players versus coaches. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Coaches are
I like
would
that
agree
thought.
with that.
I like that thought. Hey, let's end it on there. I like that analysis, Whittle. But let's end it on that note. Hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, and make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Like, subscribe, and share, please.
And it is we mentioned the matchup on the last episode. Real quickly. Jets versus Chiefs. So Whittle and Pat, I hope you guys are on next week so we could talk about it. Until then, take care, and we will see y'all next week.